Without naming names, let's assume you're Batman. Do you have any jokers in town? Do you have any arch rivals?
Not really true arch rivals. There's a short list, maybe 3, 5, 6, 7 at the most, of where I know if they get a case, unfortunately, we're going to have to litigate something. And the other thing is the other 20, 30 attorneys in town that I get along swimmingly well with, they know who those people are. We know the family law world in a 7-parish area isn't that huge. We have the main players, attorneys who do it all the time, some who dabble in it, some who don't like to do it but have to do it to pay the bills, some who just feel like they can do everything. So it's unfortunate. Like you said, there are a few jokers, penguins,
so you got
riddlers
the
out there.
Joker,
Yeah.
the penguin, the Riddler.
Right.
And it's like, if you see that trend, it's like, well, every case can't be that bad. It's just that particular lawyer that makes it that bad.
Right. And it's unfortunate. And sometimes even despite those attorneys that I maybe don't get along well with, or I know who are just adversarial, like to go through those other steps, sometimes the case is too straightforward. They can't make it into this nightmare blow up because the parties are getting along that well. So sometimes even then, you can get along good. Likewise, people that when I see their name on the other side, I'm so happy. I'm so glad to go up against ABC attorney.
Because we know we can work it out.
I know we can work it out, but then the case is just a nightmare. It's very few issues are black and white.
Right.
Nobody wins in divorce, right? It's the death of a marriage, the death of a relationship. Nobody wins in child custody. You're not seeing your kid all the time. Simple as that.
Your best bet is half.
The best bet is half. And even then, it's not fair. Everybody deserves to see their kid every morning, is my
Right.
opinion, but you can't do it in divorce. Child support, same thing. Nobody wins. You're not getting enough or you're getting too much. And child support's calculated 2 ways in the state. Very not fair. Community property, same thing. There's no way to quantify those things. So not a lot of black and white in my area of law, unfortunately.
So let's say your opponent hires a joker, and then a person comes into your office and wants to hire you, and you see that joker's on the other side. Are you charging more?
Sometimes, yeah. I unfortunately say, look,
Hey, let's call it for what it is.
Your deposit's going to go up because I know they're going to at least do X, Y, and Z before attempting settlement. Or, sometimes maybe it doesn't. I just prepare the client. Like, look, I know how this operates. They're going to look through issues that may or may not even be there just to do it. And sometimes they consider it due diligence. Sometimes it's not. You could be real world. It's...
Bro, that's so frustrating.
Yeah.
That is so frustrating. I mean, that I encountered that in my brief period of practicing family law of how, because family law, you get so much pressure from the client, right? And I've said this many times, you're going straight to heaven. I mean, like, boom.
I'd try, but...
Right? Because you have the patience of a saint, right? Yeah. But you're getting so much pressure because it's so emotionally charged. And I can put myself in their shoes. I mean, you're talking about kids, you're talking about bank account, like kids and money and a home. Hello. Right. Oh, my car, right? And so you're trying to do the best you can, and you know that they're tapped out financially, stress-wise, whatever. And then you got to deal with a difficult client, a difficult lawyer on the other side.
Right.
I don't know how you do it, man.
It's all about...
You just shrug it off.
It's all about balance. Well, look, I'm as stressed out as any attorney, for sure.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes I live my clients' lives, even though I haven't done the things they do. I'm not in their shoes. But I also think that's why I'm so good and why I get so many good referrals from good people is that, everybody says, oh, the caring attorney, this person. Look, I'm not burned out yet. I know some older attorneys feel like they're burned out. Some attorneys, Wes, give it 25 years. You'll be so jaded. You won't care about this. No, I'm always going to care.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to advise people to minimize stress and do that. When they don't listen to my advice is when it really kind of comes back to bite them, but then I feel the stress too. I find some attorneys, they don't care. They'll shoot from the hip. They'll throw it up in the air. They see it as a billable hour. They'll move on, and whether or not they get bad references and people don't go to them, I don't know, but it's
how do you shake it off? I mean, I the older I get, ironically, I don't become more jaded. I'm less jaded than ever. I love what I do, but I sleep well at night. Probably for the first 10 years of my career, I didn't sleep well at night. Right. because I was thinking about cases all day. Now I do what I can from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then I'm at peace with it because I'm better at what I do.
Right.
Really.
Right.
How do you cope with that stress?
Same thing. You leave it at the office and try not to let it follow you.
And there's times when you probably slip up and you're a little more aggravated at home, and where nobody's perfect.
Right. Absolutely. And and I tell clients all the time, like, look, I might not be accessible 24 hours by phone, but I'm 24 hours by email. And I know the ones that have a kid missing, someone got out of jail, that are very high tense stuff. I'm on call 24/7 on those. I've had interstate cases where the police were literally going 6 states away, pick up a child forcefully. Yeah, I need to be in the minute, in the zone the whole time till that kid comes back to the parent. But yeah, how do I deal with stress? Like you said, I've been blessed with an abundance of patience. I'm so fortunate to have a lot of good things in my personal life to where, yes, my stressor can be work, but I try not to let that come home and affect me with my wife, my kids, my family, the things I like to do. The work-life balance, like you and I have discussed before.
Yeah.